Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing today with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, this is the official post-fight review for Chris Eubank Jr. versus Avni Yildirim, quarterfinal of the World Boxing Super Series. Not only much to break down in this fight. I mean, it was a guy in Chris Eubank Jr. You look at the two fighters, clearly the more athletic, clearly the more superior talent in the ring. The only question was he going to go in there and fight like that, and how would he deal with Yildirim's pressure? How would he deal with it? And I thought he dealt with it really well. I thought he walked him into a lot of different traps, moving backwards. He's very comfortable counter punching off the ropes, and Yildirim gave him a lot of chances to do that. With him coming forward and throwing so many punches, Chris seemed very comfortable in there. And not only was he able to counterpunch Avni Yildirim, he was able to pretty much just pivot and throw whatever he wanted. It could have been wild or not. They could be wild shots or they can be looping shots. It didn't matter. He just had that much more quickness in the guy that he was pretty much able to do whatever he wanted if he landed enough shots to slow him down. And he was already slow to begin with, so I thought it was an impressive performance against a guy who, obviously, I really don't know much about him. I know that he fought Glenn Johnson. I know that he was undefeated, and you got to give him a little bit of respect for that. But just from how he was acting at the press conference, I just knew something mentally wasn't right with this guy. And Chris Eubank would more than likely blast him out of there, and that's what he did in 3 rounds. So he's scheduled to fight the winner of George Groves versus Jamie Cox. I'm hoping George Groves comes on top of that one, just so I can see the fight between those two. I'll be interested to see how Chris Eubank Jr. uses that speed and athleticism and that power against a tested veteran like a George Groves, and how George Groves deals with Chris Eubank's otherworldly athletic ability, because it is something to watch. It truly is something to watch in the ring. But overall, this fight, I just thought, he was too big, too fast, too strong, too good. That's outclassed him. And I thought he showed some good fundamentals early on with his jab. He constantly was pumping the jab, whether it be moving forward or going backwards. The jab was constantly in his opponent's face, and it set up all the other great things that he did. So Chris Eubank Jr., went in there today, and he fought like a fighter who knew he was better than his opponent. And this guy that he fought, Avni or how you say his name, had a similar style to his last opponent, a similar style to his last opponent in Arthur Abraham. And Chris had already seen something like this, so it prepared him for this fight. And in this fight, he got a guy that wasn't as durable as a Arthur Abraham, maybe a guy that hadn't been tested as much as Arthur Abraham or other guys. Either way, great win for Chris Eubank Jr. There's really a whole lot not to break. There's not a whole lot to break down, because there was only like the fight got stopped in the 3rd round, and Chris Eubank Jr. It was like 2 rounds some change really to break down. It's not a whole lot. So overall, good performance. Looking forward to the semifinal. Hopefully, we get the Groves Eubank matchups. Either, but if not, either way, I'm still looking forward to seeing what happens in the World Boxing Super Series. I think Chris Eubank at 168 is one of those guys that could win the World Boxing Super Series, along with Caleb Smith. Those are the 2 guys that I think are going to win it. I'm sticking with my pick though of Caleb Smith. So let me know what you think. Chris Eubank Jr. 3rd round stoppage against overall Avni Yildirim in the World Boxing Super Series. Let me know what you think. Do you think Chris Eubank will win the tournament? And if he fights George Groves, do you see him beating a George Groves? Let me know in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, and you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.